Account managers are responsible for making sure that the client's marketing strategy or any other aspect of their business is on the path for true success. I am Catalina Natasha from AMZ Advisers, and this is the second part of my interview with one of our own. Pedro Ascencio is an account manager here in AMZ Advisers, and in this video, he will share some of his success stories and how he got there. But first, let's rewind a couple of steps to remind us how to start working with an account manager at AMZ Advisers.
The first thing that I would need from you as the client will be to set those goals up with me. Also, content-wise, even though we have an amazing team that's just, they're great at doing the images and the A+ content and all of that, we need to have as many assets as possible. So that would be the first thing that I would probably ask you. If you're starting with one or two products, I would ask you to give me as many assets as possible so we could start working.
One of the main factors when selling is to offer a necessity, but an even more important one is to study the marketplace.
And how much time would you say it takes for a new client for its sales to take off?
It depends. I can't really give you an exact answer because it really depends on the product, depends on how competitive that specific category might be. For example, one of my clients, they're selling surfboarding fins. And to be honest, now that it's winter, the whole fin market is just not as good as it could be. So with that client, even though we're doing everything we can, well, maybe those sales might not be as good as we could or as good as we wish they were. But yeah, it really depends on the product.
An account manager cannot make any promises because above all, honesty is key in maintaining a healthy relationship with the client. What an account manager can promise is to work side by side with the client and study the market and the brand or product the best possible way to help increase those sales.
I don't want to promise that we're going to be making a certain number of sales, but a certain number of time and whatnot, because I can't really promise that that's going to happen. All I can promise is that we're going to try our best. We're going to try to make sure that we have the best advertising campaigns are fully optimized, that we're hitting, those numbers within the advertising console. But at the end of the day, if for whatever reason those sales were not to happen, then as long as it's justified or the market is telling us why those sales are not happening, then that's what's happening. Now, what I would personally do just to make sure that those numbers keep going up is I do go back all the time and look at what's been done on the keywords that we're bidding on. We have specialized software. We have a software called Helium 10 that we use. We also have another one called Intent Wise. We have a bunch of softwares that we use that give us all the information that we need to make sure that we have at least the best shot at getting those hitting those targets.
Now that we've heard how Pedro works side by side with a client, let's hear about a success case.
The one that comes to mind, it's called Promora. He's one of my favorite clients. His name is Lucas. He's a German guy who actually lives in, I think it's Cancun or Playa del Carmen, which makes me really jealous every time I talk to him. I'm like, man.
Right.
With that account, what we've done is we've really taken those sales exponentially. I don't know if I can give you an exact number, but right now we're basically making sales for around $300,000 monthly. Every month, making over $300,000 in sales, those are some pretty good numbers. With this particular account, it's not on a specific category. We try to target a bit of everything. Some of the products that he has, he's selling kids binoculars, or obviously, especially in this Christmas season, I'm sure those sales are going to keep going up. Besides toys, we're also selling rope baskets, for laundry. We're thinking of launching some beeswax candles. There's no specific category that he wants to be, trapped in. If it's a good product and he thinks that he will make a good sale based on my recommendation, that's, we go ahead and launch it and just hope for the best.
And as you said, you first set your goals with him. You wanted to know what he wanted to get to, and then you learned the marketplace that he wants to sell in. Which is his strongest marketplace? Where does he sell his products?
It's mostly the US. We're going to start expanding into Mexico and in Canada, basically North America at this time. But eventually, who knows? Maybe we'll move on to South America, Asia. He's also making some sales on Europe, but I'm not really helping him much on that front. He was doing that before they hired us as an agency. If you see that something works here in North America, you might as well just want to replicate that everywhere else.
With all the information Pedro has given us so far, what kind of client do you think he is? An FBA or an FBM?
He is definitely FBA. Going back to, I think it was the second question that you asked me, what would be something that you would recommend to your clients? It would be to start with FBA as soon as possible. As you know, there's two ways for you to be selling on Amazon. It could be FBM, which means fulfillment by merchant, where you're doing the full fulfillment. Or you can just let Amazon do its thing, which is honestly the easiest thing for you to do. You send 500, 700, 1,000 units to an FBA warehouse. Those guys do the whole fulfillment for you. Amazon obviously does take a percentage of that sale, which is about 15% usually. But even taking that percentage into account, you still make a lot of money and you get the benefits of having 2-day delivery service, which is something that everyone wants these days.
And last but not least, this is a question that many Amazon sellers ask, because in the end, we're all on Amazon and make business, right?
Can a seller live from this?
Yes, definitely. Well, this is totally unrelated, but I myself am a seller. That's how I actually got started with AMZ. You can make pretty good money on Amazon FBA. It's a matter of knowing your margins. You could be selling $30,000 a month, but if it's out of those $30,000, maybe you're only taking 5% or 4% as an actual profit, then you might want to make sure that you're getting better margins on that, whether that's through the PPC campaigns or maybe just talking to your distributors. Whoever's making the product, maybe you can negotiate some better deals there just to make sure that you have more wiggle room for you to grow.
Thank you for watching the second and last part of my interview with Pedro Ascencio, account manager for AMZ Advisors, and also a top seller in Amazon himself. If you found this information helpful, please like and subscribe. I will see you in the next video. Bye.